As expected, this year's gotten off to a fantastic start. So fantastic that instead of doing the Flashpoint video I was going to do, and perhaps celebrating the return of Hell's Paradise and the juggernaut that is Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm doing this. Now, it took a few days to figure out what I was going to say and how I would say it after, unfortunately, being exposed to some of the most bitter, unempathetic, nihilistic, and bigoted young men on the internet while looking at the footage of the event. And young men and the absolute shambles therein as a class is a subject I will visit repeatedly throughout the year, but not right now. So it seems we're in for more of the same as last year. Sure, it seems our pedophilic president would rather start Civil War II or World War III than release the Epstein files.
Where are they? Toys. Where are they?
Perhaps you're wondering, like I am, how someone could see an unarmed woman get shot in the face and then called a fucking bitch afterward. Perhaps you're wondering how that person could practically laugh in glee about it to a massive audience of young men, also laughing in glee.
Oh, wow. And then he shoots her. Gotcha, bitch. And then he shoots her a couple more times to finish her off.
What is wrong with you people?
Some might be inclined to feel depressed or inconsolably angry or sad about the absolute state we're in. But doom helps no one, and I personally resolve to never fall prey to doom again.
Yeah! That's not funny.
Instead, I'm going to talk about Season 2, Episode 14 of one of my favorite shows of all time. To be clear, this video is specifically about that episode and nothing else. Now, for any knuckle-dragging loser, for any person who hasn't seen Community, it's a comedy about an absurdly dysfunctional community college and a slick-talking charlatan who finds an unlikely family there. They all slowly change and grow to come to understand that, for all its faults, Greendale Community College is a place for the broken and the outcast to reinvent themselves without judgment, while taking classes like Intro to Ladders and Advanced Breath Holding. They also have an air conditioning repair school, but that's not important right now, okay? Anyway, in the episode, Jeff, the main character, recruits his friends to play Dungeons and Dragons with a recurring background character named Neil. Now, Neil was bullied as a child for his weight, and he ends up moving far away to go to college to reinvent himself in obscurity, only for someone to brand him with a new moniker.
Down there but fat, Neil.
This, along with everything else going on in his life, slowly erodes Neil's will to live. And Jeff notices his depression and plans an intervention to boost Neil's spirit. Notably, a character named Pierce.
Oh, this is gay. It's so gay. Ah!
Pierce in Old Hawthorne is not invited. Now, Pierce is a mess of daddy issues and insecurities of many varieties, coupled with a grating and insensitive personality and a childish vindictive streak. I mean, he's a dick that people don't like to be around. And it's clear that at least 50% of his dickishness is a coping mechanism that spans generations. Unfortunately, Pierce finds out about their secret game and immediately begins insulting Neil.
And you remember to let Fatty sit in my chair. Get out! You're stretching it!
Pierce?
Doing the very thing they were worried about, the very reason they didn't invite him in the first place. He forces his way into the game out of sheer spite. This isn't about enjoyment, he doesn't care about Dungeons and Dragons, but he has a deep fear of exclusion, of ultimately being unworthy. So he lashes out at the person who's getting help and attention instead of asking for the same and changing his ways. Or even possibly being part of the solution and actually helping other people, or putting any amount of good back into the world instead of sitting on their asses every day complaining about how people don't like them because they're extremely unlikable, taking delight in the misfortunes of others as a consolation prize for their own miserable, purposeless existence. This is, of course, still about Pierce Hawthorne and the beloved comedy series Community, and not about anything else. When Neil attempts to show kindness to Pierce within the game, he uses the opportunity to make a mockery of Neil, taking something from him that holds meaning, also removing the blackface character that helped skirt a little controversy, and then also he antagonizes Neil almost to tears. And this is what follows.
What the hell is wrong with you? I don't like being excluded, Jeff. Do you?
Yes! Now go in there and tell him you're giving him his sword or you are out of the study group.
I'm sick of you threatening me and talking to me like a kid. Good. Who wants to sit with a bunch of fat crybabies anyway?
Buddy, you do. You want it more than anything in the world, and when you don't get what you want, no one can have anything. They have to be punished. The world has to burn down, not because it will solve your issues like you're pretending it will, but because you've already given up. Nothing has meaning or purpose. The only thing left is Schadenfreude. And German people don't come for me. I'm from Alabama. Okay, I'm doing the best I can. Anyway, this is still, of course, all about Pierce Hawthorne and not about anything else. Anyway, the game that was at first about trying to give Neil a positive group experience in a medium that had brought him comfort and joy throughout the years by making him feel special, which is in itself a hollow but well-meaning gesture born of guilt, will now become about stopping Pierce from becoming the ultimate dick. What was originally a patronizing venture becomes a genuine group effort. But it's not enough. Pierce comes to exact vengeance.
Sword drawn and I attack as time stop! Fine, Pierce. You win. Just kill us and end this.
Oh no. Killing's too good for you. Cast shape change on Duquesne.
What shape do you choose for him?
Fat.
Pierce, stop it!
Pierce!
Duquesne starts gaining weight. How much?
Make him as fat as Fat Neil. Let it out. Baste your chubby cheeks in tears of gravy.
By the way, this is one of my favorite lines from the entire series. They couldn't have picked a better person than Chevy Chase to play Pierce Hawthorne, and this episode is one of many that shows that very clear fact. Pierce then drops what he believes to be a real truth bomb. Something that will shatter Neil further and also bring everyone else down to his level. For example, saying something isn't bad, and then when people point out that it's definitely bad, like really bad, trying to then shift a moral burden to your accusers to pretend the playing field is the same. It'd be like comparing the murder of a private citizen by a federal agent acting at the behest of an authoritarian president to the murder of a shitty political provocateur by a private citizen acting alone without the mandate of the highest office in the country. An act that was condemned by every single Democratic politician that spoke on it and the vast majority of liberal political commentators. I'm sorry, this is still definitely about Pierce Hawthorne. I apologize.
Don't you know why Jeff Winger, of all people, led the charge on the Fat Neil Feel Good Committee?
Way over the line, Pierce. Oh, they're down there by Fat Neil.
Jeff coined the name Fat Neil. His good-natured effort to right his wrong was ultimately a failure because it was driven by guilt and a need to fix what he'd done without admitting what he'd done wrong in the first place. And of course, Pierce is so self-satisfied. He doesn't feel any better, but everyone else feels worse, which is his ultimate goal, to bring everyone down to his level. And it seems he has succeeded. Okay, everyone's day is ruined. It sucks, everyone feels bad. After the tears have been shed, he makes an interesting statement.
That's fine. For my turn, I feel sorry for Pierce Hawthorne.
Save it.
No, I really do, man.
For my turn, I feel sorry for Pierce Hawthorne. And surprisingly, like a chorus of Spartacuses, the rest of the group follows suit, using their turns to feel sorry for Pierce as well, because they were, previously paralyzed by him. And this is an interesting setup. He has made himself unreachable, unapproachable, and the only meaningful action left for them to take, in the context of the game, is to feel sorry for him. In the end, of course, he engineers his own destruction. Ultimately, because there is no plan besides the suffering of others, it ends the only way it can, in failure. He loses, and this has caused an even greater rift within the group. He's now even more alone than he was before, because now, where they first avoided telling him about not being included to spare him pain and a temper tantrum, they gloat at his failure. He's gone too far. Ultimately, they help Neil by showing him an alternate version of himself and allowing him to face that version and face the pain within himself as well. They all get a little bit of catharsis. All the truth comes out, and when the cards have been turned over and everyone shows their hand, Pierce is the only one left unsatisfied. By seeking to destroy Neil, by attempting to drag him down to his level, he only made him stronger.
That was the best game I ever played in my life.
So, what's the point of this video that's definitely about Season 2, Episode 14 of a beloved comedy TV show that ran for 6 seasons, but notably didn't get a movie? Well, I'll tell you. They see the things they want slipping away or changing, and instead of coming together, they are pushing away out of spite or hatred, but always out of fear. And their fear is not anyone's fault or anyone's problem, but their own. I mean, this is very clearly destructive. It's antithetical to their own supposed beliefs, but they just can't stop. And either they end up alone, like Pierce, or they end up destroying us all, or they finally realize what it took Pierce 2 seasons and, importantly, a soul rezoning at the Laser Lotus Institute to understand. There's always another seat at the table, but the only thing that makes that seat worth anything are the other people there, sharing the same table, sharing the same adventure with, their different character sheets. Without them, there is no table, there is no chair, there is no game. As they burn the lifelines, as they shoot holes in the boat, don't fall into doom. I won't. For my turn, I simply choose to feel sorry for Pierce Hawthorne. Rest in peace, Renee Good. Fuck ICE, and, double fuck that guy that won't release the Epstein files. I can't really remember his name. I'm not sure he can either. And with that, I'm back to Flashpoint. Stay thirsty, live life, be safe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Oh, Britta's in this?
I got a Christmas